So the first thing to do is to understand this animation, this first one. And if you see that the like the bottle is bouncing, subtly bouncing, right? I will put it there. So if you see, it's like subtly bouncing, boom, boom. Okay, so we are going to recreate that on keyframes first. So we're going to get out the smoke. No, put the render here, and we're going to focus on this movement right here. Okay, so for example, the bounce here, it's you have, because this is coming from the sky, right? It's coming from the y-axis to the bottom. So you need to follow that movement first, because this is the first transition that you have from the y-axis from top to bottom, right? Because it needs to going to some place, it needs to land. So for that reason, you need to understand that movement. Okay, so we're going to make it from the sky a little bit, and then boom, rotate, and then come back. Okay, so if you think about it, you always need to understand curves, animation curves, as the intention. Animation curves are pretty simple if you understand the intention that you want to create. So I will show you, a difference between keyframes and curves for you can see. But let's do it. So you have here the bottle, and I will put the timeline over here. So let me put the timeline over here. And this movement is pretty fast. It's like super, super fast. So it's coming from the sky, right? And it's going down quick, and then bounce, right? And then after the bounce, you will need to see like a bounce back, right? So in the curve, when you bounce, the curve always needs to be like straight. So for example, this is the position. If we go this route right here, right, the bounce will not bounce. It will not like it's less bouncy, right? Because it's landing smooth. And when it lands smooth, it's like it's not bounced too much. And this movement need to be really strong. Why? Because it needs to like provoke the smoke. Okay, so it needs to be like really strong. So that's why you need to choose in the keyframes, you need to choose like all the way in. And then if you want to go all the way in also here, you go this way, right? You see? Let's repeat the animation for you can see. Boom, right? Boom. And then what things that we're missing here is the bounce back. So we have here like a bounce back, boom. Like it's almost like a delay, like a right? So we need to recreate that now. So we have this, it's bouncing, and then it's not putting in the position, it's bouncing back again. So for that, we need to get another keyframe. And I do keyframes like this. When I create keyframes, I create it inside the curves. I don't go to here and create a keyframe. You know what I do is like I pressed in my PC is like Control Shift and I click. So when I say Control Shift, I just duplicate it and then I move it. Like I select it and I move it. For me, it's easier to do it this way, you know? So let's do that. So because it's bouncing back, you see it's like going here, boom, it's bouncing back again. Boom. So this is too much. And right now we can make it a little more, you know, a little more specific. And you see, so this curve right here, so we'll zoom in, this curve is a bounce. Why? Because you go slow, fast, and then slow again. This is a bounce. At the contrary, if you want to make it fast and then stay in the position, you need to do it in the inverse. So this stay position is like this. This is, you know, animation 101. If it gets a little bored, I apologize. But you know, this is the stay curve. This is not the bounce curve. The bounce curve is this one. This one is the bounce curve. Okay, guys? You see? It's like it's bouncing. So it's too strong, and this needs to be less. Okay? So we are going to check all the curves right here. And this curve is ugly. You don't need these curves never. Like this, the curves when it's doing like this, it's not good. Never. Need to be always a continuous curve. So you need to fix it to make it look smooth. The curves need to always look smooth. Always, always, always. Even that is a little bit movement, but always need to be look that way. So for example, this one, need to be look smooth. You cannot have like weird curves. That's not a good animation. So right now we have, and I think it's too much. So let me put it back. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So this is not look the same because it's not showing in the real time. So let's make, pretty. If you don't know like how to do this, like Alt B or I don't know in Mac, but making previews for the animation is a must because they never show you in real time. So if you don't do like previews for your animation, you're losing, a lot of good information. So always look in previews first. Always, always, always. In my recommendation with clients and projects, always go for hardware render first. Because it's so much easy to change. If you wait until you render the final sequence or just a low res render, you're wasting time. Just to make previews all the time, okay? So always make it like in the full range. We'll make it for just 50. It's like always, always, always do make previews, okay? And then when you make previews, it's super simple because then you just replace the file in After Effects. So you replace the sequence. So it's super fast to just iterate that way. Okay, guys, is this so this is getting value for you? If it's good, give me some emojis, give me some love. Okay, so let's do it. So you see the movement now is like it's weird. It's not getting bouncing. Yeah, so we need to fix it a little bit. Right. Okay, so let's try to do that in 2 minutes. Okay, so the timeline here. So I think it's something about the rotation. Okay. So I think you need to be something like this. You go here. Okay. So animation, is an intense process all the time. So you need to understand that. Okay, I know what's going on. Yeah, okay, perfect. So we're going to leave it this way to move on with the smoke. So now fix the bounce. What we're going to do for the smoke. This smoke is super simple. What we did, it's let me show that. Is create a simple disk. Let me the Pyro right here. So we create a simple disk, or it's not showing the Pyro. So let's put it here. And the disk is basically, animating from 0 to 100, You see, the simple disk that you animated from zero right here to 1 in 12 frames. Simple as that. And then you create a a pyro, of course, to make it smoke. And the pyro you created until the frame 12 too. I'm sorry, until the frame 30. So you enable it. I'll show the attributes here. So you enable it and then you disable it on frame 30. That way it stops getting the smoke. Okay. And this is super important. What you do here is like when you enable this. So let's try to make it from scratch. So let's make it from scratch. So I will copy my disk. Okay, so I'll copy my disk. I will do it from scratch. So you go here, of course, simulations, right? Pyro emitter. You go to the pyro here, and this right now, everything is going messy. If you start pyro, everything is going messy, right? Like weird. Okay, so first thing you need to do, you need to remove the temperature because we don't need it. So remove the temperature here. We go to the pyro, remove the temperature. We don't need it. Okay, then you need to go to the pyro output, the pyro scene, Control D with the simulation scene, right? And in the pyro, so Control D or MACD, in the simulation pyro, you have all the controls here. So you have everything you need to know about the pyro. It's here. It's not here. Here you will not have all the controls. So here you have, for example, the strength, we're going to make it from 3000, but that's the only thing that we're going to measure on this emitter. So the emitter only works for a couple of scales and speed, but everything that you do to control the smoke is in the Control D of MACD and the simulation and the pyro tab. Okay, this is the voxel size, basically voxel size meaning like the resolution for your simulation. Lower this is more resolution for the smoke, but right now we don't need more resolution because we're not creating like ultra realistic smoke. We're creating like a smooth smoke. And how you do that? Super simple. You have here velocity and density. These are the two tabs that you're going to manage with the smoke. So velocity and density, and you can also add a little turbulence if you want. I will add a little turbulence. So smooth, for example, I will just add 500. Okay. And here, if you think about it, this is look like super rough, right? It's not look smooth. And this is going to solve like super simple. In the density, you have a density smooth factor. And then you go, for example, to 40. And in the velocity, you have a velocity smooth factor. And you go to 60, for example. Let's see the difference. I will take a screenshot for this. We're going to see the difference. Those parameters. You see? Boom. Now with those two parameters on, you will see the difference. Let me put the screenshot on the side. You see what I'm saying? Is this too fast? Is this good? Send me some love, some emojis here. Okay. Here's the screenshot. So you see, with those two parameters, you just have a total different smoke. So if you want to change things on smokes or things like that, you just need to work with those two. Because, for example, the density dissipation, if I go higher, the smoke would be less seconds on screen. So I went higher here, right? And the smoke, right, disappear. You see? You see? Right? Okay. So these two things are the responsible to create the look of your smoke, density and velocity. And you need to play with the things until you're satisfied, right? For me, this one was good because that's closer to the reference that I was using. So we'll go back to the scene. Now that the bottle, we'll show you the bottle. And I will go to camera. Okay, so now this bottle is coming out with the smoke. I will show you in a render how it's looking. And you know, of course, to be rendered by Redshift, you need to have a Pyro volume. So create materials and Pyro volume. The Pyro volume is super simple material. So basically, it's just, you know, let me put it in this side. It's just a material that has, you know, a Pyro volume module in the volume, and what it does is like it's telling you what color what color can be the smoke, right? The absorption and the tint. So the tint is great because you can have different colors regarding the highlighting of the smoke. In this case, if I want to do it like really subtle, it can be something like this, right? I would keep it in the same way that it was before. Okay, and this one is this absorption. So meanwhile, more dark, it's absorbed less. It's more white, it's more transparent. So let me show you. No, because this is okay. So if I go to white, it's going to be, you know, like less transparent, less absorption. If I go really high, it's going to be more. So more subsurface, if you want to go that way. Okay, in this case, I was doing, because I was checking, you know, the example right here. And I was checking that something like the other one. Yeah, something like they will do the work. Okay, so now that you have the look that you want, it's a must that you need to cache the object, because to cache the object, you can control more the animation, because right now you are not getting that in the same position. The animation should start here in 5 when they bounce it. It's not doing it right now. So we need to make, you know, the cache here pretty fast. So you go to the Pyro output and you go to cache, you enable it, and you cache the scene, and that's it. And it will store in your location. You know, it will store in your same folder. So it's asking me where should I put the Olympic, and I put in the smoke, the volume, right? And I save it. Hey guys, any questions so far? Anything that you want to ask regarding the scene, regarding the lighting, regarding, you know, everything that you're looking right now? Lovely to see you, Sarah. I think the first time in the masterclass, so lovely to see you here. Guys, you know that we're making this short and sweet. If you, of course, this free scene file, you will find it on the, you know, on the classrooms, on the resources, and you have this wonderful, beautiful bottle that you can use whatever you want. I mean, if you want to sell it, doesn't care. Okay, guys. So now that we have the cache, is so much easier to understand what to do, right? Because book is going in frame 9. So right now we just need to go to the timeline and put on that same moment. This is the moment that is bouncing. So right now the scene starts at 6, and that's how you match things. Super simple, right? And you see that right now the illusion is coming better because you go in this route. And actually, I think the scene needs to start right here. Yes, so it's 5. Nope, 5. See? Okay, perfect. Awesome. Awesomeness. And if you want to trick this a little bit, so you can go here and then hide this. and then unhide it on this. So unhide it here. Dun, dun. And then 1, off, boom, boom. And then you make it pretty sweet. Okay, see you guys. And for the lighting, this is super simple, You have, because I wanted to make something that has, you know, this look and feel of a little volume. Oh, and also I forgot to mention, I create, you know, a mesh, like a simple mesh, to get colliders. So I put a collider here because I don't want the smoke to be inside the product, because right now I create a collider like a little bit in a different size. You see? So I create a collider in a different mesh, and the mesh is more simple. If you see it, it's more simple. It's less polygons, because if not, it will be waste like energy from the computer. So I create that with less polygons, and I create it as a collider, and I just use it to create the effect that the bottle is inside the smoke. Okay, guys, and for the lighting, this is super simple. I create, I'll show you, boom, boom. So it's an area light that is right here. It's in the top. You can see because the shadows go down. So it's in the top, super simple, an area light. And then, you know, just a dome light. A simple dome light. And that's it. There's no more than that. You know, with the machine shop. And that's it, guys. So it's super simple. As I mentioned before, this scene will be in the resources in our community. And you know, if you want to play with smoke, just play with smoke. I totally recommend it. I think, you know, this is not explored enough, and it can be, you know, be super beneficial for your pipeline. And as I mentioned, we didn't have the time today to cover this, you know, these both scenes. But basically, if you understand the logic behind here, is this is coming fast and then gets low. And at the end, and the opposite here, this is coming slow and going fast. You see? I will try to create, you know, that other scene, and I'll send you over as a file. But the logic is, you go here. This is a camera rotation. It's not the object is rotating a little bit, but the most rotation is on the camera because it's changing the background. And then you go from slow to really go boom. You see the last movement, and you need to understand that these the transitions on really good shots, almost like 3-4 frames long. You need to think about those time frames, because I remember in the beginning when I start animating, I make movements really long. So I thought that 20 frames for a movement was good. But in the reality, it's like movements are 5, 4, 3 frames. So I think this is the logic that we need to understand. If we want to learn something about animation today, is this. Like really good movements are short, 3-4 frames, no more. If you think about it, the real transition here going on between here and here, and this is 82, 99. So the entire transition is 16 frames. And this is the entire difference. And actually, the real acceleration, the real increment, right, is right here. It's 2, 2. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. You see? It's going boom, boom, boom. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. Actually, this is the transition. You see? It's like super short. But that will make the entire difference, because now you are tricking the viewer to they don't know what they're seeing, basically, because you don't fool the viewer, but you trick them, because the transition is like, oh, okay, they feel like this is a good thing to the eye because it's too fast. Okay, so that's it, guys. I will put this file on the, on the resources, as I said. Last couple of minutes, does someone have a question? If no, just let me know. Or that way you can, we can go on. I need to go to my son to a soccer match that he needs to participate. So yeah, it's a busy Saturday today. So I wish all of you a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Have a lot of love, have a lot of peace, and also, rest, because weeks are really hard. So yeah, it's a pleasure talking to you as always. Thanks, Nicholas. Thank you too. Have a great day. And this will be in the resources in a couple of days, so just check it out. Okay, guys? Take care. Bye-bye.